Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Javi, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very special micro handheld in front of me in this tiny little case. Ooh, what's this? You might have guessed it, another Anbernic handheld. And if you can guess by these little indentations, you already know what this is. This is Anbernic's RG35XX, a very cool little mini handheld. So today we're going to be doing a deep dive on this handheld, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and I just so happen to have two of these. So really quick, before we get into the review, I do want to say a couple things. First of all, this handheld right here, as you can see, comes in 4 different colors. This is the orange model, the creamsicle. Check this out. Look at this beautiful little handheld. I just love that Anbernic didn't just stay with their usual same 3 colorways with black and white, and they stepped outside the box and did something different for once, and I just love that they did this. Like, shout out to Anbernic for doing this. So yeah, this little handheld was kindly sent over to me by my good friends over at Lit NXT. So yeah, I do want to take a moment to thank them. This video is not sponsored, but if you guys do want to pick one of these up at the end of the video, if you feel this handheld is right for you, I do highly recommend you pick one up from Lit NXT. The store has been very good to me as far as like being very generous, and really they're a big reason why I am able to bring you guys this sort of content and reviews, because realistically I couldn't afford to purchase all these like different handhelds. You know, these come out like 1 or 2 every week. So yeah, huge thanks to Lit NXT for making this video possible. But not only do I want to thank them, I also want to thank you, my subscribers. I just hit 9K, and I want to give back to you guys as well. I want to say thank you to everyone who watched and supports this channel. And one of the ways I want to thank you guys is by actually giving one of these handhelds away. I do have another one here, so I'm going to be giving this one away, and I will be doing a few other giveaways maybe later down the line. So if you guys want to get this handheld right over here, this RG35XX is basically in brand new condition. All you have to do is be subscribed and leave a comment in the section saying, I love oranges. Okay, I love oranges. To leave that comment so I can enter you into the giveaway. Then 2 weeks from now, after this video is posted, whatever date it is, I will announce the winner on the community post, and I will contact the winner, and hopefully we can get it out as soon as possible, you know, to ship this to that person. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and for leaving all your comments and encouragement, and thank you to Lit NXT and stores like Lit NXT that support small channels like myself. Okay, so now let's talk about my personal RG35XX. See, I did get this case. You don't need a case for this handheld. That's the crazy part. So let's get this opened. See your guesses in the comments. What color is it? What color is it? Ooh, it is the DMG. Oh my god, I love this handheld. This handheld just looks so good. This is possibly my favorite DMG that Anbernic's ever made. The tone of the gray, even the little blue accent colors. Oh my god, they did a phenomenal job with this handheld, and this is why this is my personal favorite colorway for this handheld. So this handheld, I have really like mixed emotions about it. Like, there's a lot of things I like about it, and then there's a lot of things I just like, I wish they did something different. Okay, so let's talk about all of them, starting with the controls. This is one of the biggest pain points for me about this handheld. Like, they definitely had more space to do with these buttons, but like the thing with these buttons is just that they're so tiny. They still got that Anbernic quality, I can't lie. The D-pad feels amazing and accurate, and the action buttons feel great as well. You know, they feel nice and they have a nice tactile feel. You know, they're membrane and stuff, but they have that same Anbernic quality, amazing quality buttons. But one thing is that, like, they're so small, and it's just something you can't like get over with this handheld. Like, it's, on one hand, it's like, I wish they were bigger, but at the same time, it kind of adds to the charm of the device, right? Like, when you're playing it and just using little buttons, that's kind of the 28XX experience, you know what I mean? So that's just one thing about the controls. Like, I'm like, ah man, I wish they were bigger, but at the same time, I kind of like that they're smaller too, because it's just that like mini feel, you know, like using a smaller D-pad, using smaller buttons. And then there's the other things, right? So like this weird design choice they did here where they put the start and select here. So at first I thought this was stupid. I'm like, this is 9 times out of 10 on every other handheld, it's like under the action buttons or like up here, right? Above the action button, above the D-pad, right? That's what we become kind of accustomed to with these sorts of handhelds, right? Example, we have an H here, start and selector up top, and they're really accessible. You know, so you can stop, pause, you know, do what you got to do, perform action buttons. It makes sense, right? Or like on this MIUI 830, where the start and select are directly under the action buttons. This is super comfy and makes sense, just like Nintendo does it. You know, this is where we've become accustomed to these buttons being. Where on the 28XX, it's a below the D-pad. It's just like kind of awkward, and at first glance you think this is dumb. Like, it is dumb. You're gonna have to kind of remember where these buttons are at all times. But on the other hand, it's actually genius. They kind of did the same thing that Nintendo did, that you can use this now as additional like A and B buttons if you're playing like a vertical arcade game. Okay, so here we're playing some Blue Hawk. Give yourselves 1,000 credits. And now check this out. Now we're using the start and select buttons as action buttons for this game. So besides me being super bad at this game, it's a pretty enjoyable experience on this little micro handheld. Look, it takes up the entire screen as well. You want to continue? Sure. Now, obviously, is this ideal on this tiny little handheld? Absolutely not. But is it cool as hell? Hell yeah, it's super cool. Look at this. It's a super unique experience. So yeah, on one hand, I like it, right? And then on the other hand, I'm like, damn, I wish it was somewhere else, like up here or here, because I'm so used to it. But for the application that they've made it for, it makes perfect sense. So here's playing some Pokemon. This is another gripe I have with this handheld. So look, here I was playing some Pokemon, right? And this screen is like, the screen is great. Don't get me wrong. They have a 640 by 480 screen, and at this size, this is a 2.8-inch screen. The screen is sharp as heck, right? Like the pixels per inch, super sharp. However, it's a vertical screen. So look, now watch what happens when, for example, I just go to save. So I press select in this. Did you see that? Why is that way, right? Or let's say I go to do like a fast forward or something. Why is that down here, right? When I go to fast forward, it has like the symbol on the bottom. And that's just like a little thing, right? It has the, you know, the save stuff and the fast forward notifications in the wrong area. That's one thing. But now this is in the wrong aspect ratio too. I don't know if you can tell, because this is just Game Boy Advance. It's a little bit stretched. When I go to try to fix this, right? Let's say I am a person that I don't enjoy the aspect ratio being wrong, and I go into my settings and I go into scaling, and then look, aspect ratio. It's 3:4 right now, right? If I change that to 3:2, that looks completely wrong, right? 3:4, that's what it's at. There's no way to easily change it to fix it to what it's supposed to be, which is 3:2. So there's no 2:3 option here. So you have to do some custom stuff, or like, you know, input the exact pixels to fix this. And that's kind of annoying. So you kind of have to deal with stuff like that. Like, this is obviously an easy fix if you know the exact numbers you need. Like, you can probably look it up. But however, you might have to deal with a little bit of stretching here and then if you don't want to get into all that. So that's one thing about the screen. Now, going back to the buttons, you have a look at these shoulder buttons. These shoulder buttons are absolutely abysmal. They're like the tiniest little crap shoulder buttons. I just really don't like these shoulder buttons. Like, when you have to use them, you have to use them, and it's nice that they're like stacked, but at the same time, they're just so little, and they had more space to make them bigger and more usable. Like this one on the corner, this is like a dumb idea, because you kind of, sometimes you could accidentally press these, you know. Just don't like the experience of using these shoulder buttons. So I mean, a lot of games you're not going to use it, right? But like a game like this where I'm doing some, you know, some fast forwarding, I'm going to be using it a lot just to fast forward. So overall, I'm not crazy about the shoulder buttons. Also, the menu button, this has no reason to be here. This could have been here. They have plenty of space to put it in a more like ergonomic place. I mean, it's not far on a handheld this size. You can pretty much press it anytime, just like the H. But it's like they could have put this in a better spot, in my opinion. And then the speaker. So look, let's say I'm playing a game, right? Trying to enjoy me some some Pokemon original soundtrack, and it's like my thumb is blocking the noise. Look at this. Look at this. I'm trying to run in the game, and now I'm blocking the sound. Like, why? This is like really dumb design decisions. Hold on, let's obliterate this guy real quick. But yeah, this is all the time. Let's say I'm just playing this game normally and I have my thumb on the B button. I have to hold it in a certain way to not block the sound hole. Why Ambernick? This makes me want to punch the fucking CEO of Ambernick, just like rock him right in his jaw for this design decision. Why, dude? But like, I get it. Like, they wanted to make it look like the old Game Boy. Every one of these has one in the corner for whatever reason. But it's like you get such a better experience on other handhelds, right? Ambernick's own stuff competes with this handheld. That's my problem with this. Like, it's cool, it's awesome that it's the size. I love that it doesn't have a joystick, so it's super pocket friendly. But like, in my opinion, why get this when you can get an SP, right? This is such a better experience. The whole thing, it's a clamshell, it folds up really small. Look at this, right? You have a regular size D-pad and action buttons, and the speaker hole, you never block it, right? The menu button is in a way better position, a position that makes way more sense. Look at this colorway. You can customize it. Looks amazing. Yes, the shoulder buttons are almost as bad as these, but come on, this is a clamshell and they're still raised compared to these, right? Yes, this is not the same price, right? These are two different prices, right? This is a little bit more, maybe like 15-20 bucks more, right, than this one. But come on, you're getting a much better experience on a handheld like this than this handheld, right? Or let's talk about the H, right? Let's say you want a horizontal handheld. Why wouldn't you just get an H, right? There's an argument to be said about this one. This one has joysticks as well, full-size buttons as well. Looks great. Shoulder buttons are much better. Start and select buttons much better. You can use Tate mode just the same with an actual joystick. So it's like, why not get an H over this? And this is constantly almost at the same price on sale for something like this, right? With this handheld, right, I love Ambernick for making it. I love that they're giving options, right? Something small with no joysticks, that slides into your pocket, will basically fit anywhere. It's really light, has very good build quality. A lot of things I like. Same Ambernick quality, and you get the exact same experience you would get on something like this that's a little bit more expensive, right? But they could have also done it better. They could have made these buttons a little bit bigger. They could have made these shoulder buttons a little bit more enjoyable. I think if they put this into a vertical form factor, something like the Miyu Mini, but made by Ambernick, with Ambernick's level of quality and the way they do things, put this into a vertical body, oh man, that would be amazing. That's what I'm really looking forward to. This handheld is great. However, it's most definitely not my first choice when it comes to this line of products, right? The 28XX, Unfortunately, this is not one for me, especially as somebody who has the option to play something like this. Just looking at this, I want to pick it up because it's customized. Nobody else has this. This is mine, right? Even the old 35XX, I'd prefer over the 28XX just because of the comfiness of it. And it's really not that much bigger, you know. This still fits in your pocket. This still doesn't have joysticks. You have no problem getting this into your pocket, you know. I'd probably recommend this over this. Unfortunately, I don't want to diss the fans of this device, but me personally, this is not one for me. I did want to showcase my setup on this device. As you saw my boot screen, I am running the modded stock. I forget who made this again. I'm sorry, I'm going to credit them on screen. But yeah, this modded stock is basically my favorite software for all these Anbernic devices. I use the same one on my SP, and as you can see, the theme looks very good. You see the game rooms, you have RA game, you have your app center, you have your favorites, history, search, settings, all that stuff is here, and it looks very, very aesthetically pleasing. Even the sounds are good. Listen to this. It really does sound much better than just a nice little subtle kind of sounds, much better than the stock experience in my opinion. So here's a quick side-by-side of the two operating systems. This is the default stock operating system, and this is modded stock. And I don't know what you guys think, but I think this looks so much better than this. Like, even if we go into the games rooms, go to whatever. First of all, I don't have that middle screen where it tells you which SD card to pick. In this case, I only have one, but still, I can even make my text a little bit larger, especially on a display this size. I would want to see the text a little bit easier, you know, and even the sounds it makes, right? Like, look, that's like a drop. It sounds so much better. And click, it's like a little click, and then this one, like too loud, kind of obnoxious. Even the games room, how this looks in here versus how it looks over here, a little bit more clean and put together. Just looks so much better in my opinion. Here, let's have a look at the RetroArch or RA game. I think that purple backdrop just looks so much better. Another thing too is just the booting and the shutdown screen. So like, look, let's see it. Let's shut down. This one asked me to confirm. This one does it immediately, right? That is our shutdown screen. Okay, and now let's boot it back up. And on this one, I have random boot logos. So I have a Pikachu one and I have a Kirby one, and then on Anbernic it just says Anbernic. So isn't this so much more fun than this? You know, modded stock, guys. Get modded stock. And this is not just for the RG28XX. You can even get this on the SP or the H or the Plus or the regular 35XX. Whichever one of those you have, you can get it. You can get modded stock. Highly, highly recommended. And although this handheld can play a lot of different systems, like all of arcade and the entire Game Boy Advance lineage, you know, PlayStation 1, it can even play some Dreamcast and N64. However, those systems that need a joystick are not going to play well on something like this. You obviously never want to play Dreamcast without a proper joystick, because you're not going to get that correct input you're supposed to have. You're supposed to, with an analog stick or a joystick, you're supposed to be able to do a partial input. With something like this, that is impossible. So you're going to get a compromised experience on something like this. Is that to say it's not fun? It is still fun, but it's not as good as like using a proper joystick. One thing about the DMG model, some people say it makes it look bezel-less because it has that gray bezel, versus something like this. If I put the same game next to it, this kind of looks, to some people, looks better. I feel these controls are very good for a platforming game, something like this, like Mario, where it feels very, very precise. This is what I mean by Anbernic's level of quality. Their D-pad is like super on point. Despite it being small, it feels very, very good for a game like this, that you need to have precise input. Another benefit of like these smaller buttons is actually the fact that you can press all of them at the same time. So like for something like a fighting game where you need to make inputs with like multiple buttons, it's going to be easier on a handheld like this. So yeah, there's not really much else to say about the RG28XX. Like, it's really powerful. You get the same performance you get in something like this. But I definitely don't think it's right for everybody. I wouldn't consider this to even be like, use this as your main handheld, right? Like, I think like this is good for like an on-the-go device, like something you'll always have in your pocket, but maybe not something for like for everything. You know, I think, you know, definitely stick with a full-size handheld if you want the best experience. So if you don't have a handheld already, definitely go for something like the SP or the RG35XX Plus, or even the XXH. Any of those I think will do you a little bit better than this handheld, and just spend the money on those, especially because you can find them for around the same price most of the time. I do want to say, if you do plan on picking any of these up, please consider getting it from Lit NXT. Like I said before, they are like a huge support to the channel, so if you guys want to get one, definitely pick it up from them if you can. I will try to get you guys a discount code or something that I can leave in the description so you guys can get it for an even better price. As far as this review goes, I do like the handheld, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not my go-to, and that's where I want to end it. If I have any of these on the table, I'm always gonna grab a SP or a bigger handheld over something like this. So yeah guys, that's gonna be it for this review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the RG28XX? If you already have one, do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you wish you bought it? Are you picking one up? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to leave a comment saying I love oranges if you want to be entered into the giveaway for this beautiful handheld right here. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.